Today's video is brought to you by ablmerch.com. You're able to get the hat I have on my head, plus a large selection of other hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, and more through the link in the description box below. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you an update on the case of Bubba Wallace and the whole news in the garage stall at Talladega Speedway kerfuffle. Now, this story has really blown up. It's all over the place, international news, and I did a video about this already before we had all the facts, before an investigation was done. And what I said as far as how I felt about the situation is true. Everything I said about how I feel is fact, because now we have a completed investigation and findings. But before we get into that, I got to back up a little bit here to get you on the same page in case you don't know or you need a refresher. Now, Bubba Wallace is a biracial male who is seen as black, and he's seen as the only black NASCAR driver. Now, the story was that somebody placed a noose, I guess it's some kind of racist attack at him, some kind of hateful incident at him. They placed the noose in his garage stall at Talladega Speedway. All right. Now, Bubba said from the beginning that he didn't find it. It was somebody else in the team. They went to NASCAR, and then the NASCAR president actually came to him and brought the news to him like it was some kind of hate crime, like really dramatic. And then it just took a life of its own from there. You got Bubba Wallace going on The View. He's going on CNN with Don Lemon. I think he went on Don Lemon twice, at least once, but probably twice. So he's making the rounds. NASCAR had this whole big production where they pushed his car to the front at Talladega, in a ceremonial kind of way. Richard Petty even came out, 82 years old, really shouldn't be out, has not been out since the virus hit, but came out to support his driver and gave him a hug. Wallace was crying, all types of stuff, okay? It was this whole big production, and I'm like, you know what? This is probably fake. It smells like, it feels like, it looks like Juicy Smouye 2.0. And now that we have the facts, that we have a completed investigation, I am right. And if you thought the same thing I did, which most of us did, you are right as well. We have all been vindicated. Now, let's get to the completed investigation. I'll put a statement from NASCAR on the screen before you, and it basically says what I said in the video, that the so-called noose was really a garage pull, and then it had been in that same garage for at least a year, probably more than that, and it was not what he was thinking. Now, one thing I got to point out in that statement from NASCAR, also from FBI, is that they're still calling it a noose. It is not a noose, okay? If you have a knot with a loop on the end to put your hand into it so you can easily pull the garage door up or down, that's not a noose. Who are you going to hang with something you could put your hand in? But you're going to hang a gerbil, a squirrel, some other large rodent. You probably can't even hang a dog in that loop, okay? You cannot hang a human being in that loop. And also, a noose is a slip knot. So the actual knot would tighten as you pull it. So if you put something in there, the weight of the object will make the rope tighten. That's a noose. No, not a knot with a loop on the end. Okay, that's not what that is. When I go to Hartsfield-Jackson Airport and I go to the underground train and they have those little loops you hold on to so you don't fall over and bust your head, that's not a noose. That is just it's a belt loop I just hold on to make sure I don't fall. Okay, same thing with any subway or bus or train or whatever. It's the same type of thing. Okay, it is not a noose. It is a loop that you hold on to for whatever the reason may be. You're able to get leverage that way and balance that way. It's just a thing that exists, okay? Just because it's a rope or some string and tied into a knot with a loop does not make it a noose, but I digress. Now, some are gonna say, you know what, ABL, don't blame Bubba Wallace, don't call him Juicy Smouye. It's not his fault. It was NASCAR's fault because they're the ones that put it out there to the public. They're the ones that came up to him and said it's a noose and it's a hate crime. All that and the third. They're the ones that did that. But no. Let's not do that, because let's not forget about who Bubba Wallace is. All right. First of all, he's a guy that has on the Black Lives Matter, I Can't Breathe t-shirt with the Black Lives Matter car. Also, he was the guy that spearheaded the movement to remove the Confederate flags from the speedways. Okay, so he is a guy that is vocal about this whole anti-racist, he's getting a lot of attention that way. That's first. The second thing is even after the investigation, after it was found out that it was not a noose. And by the way, they sent 15, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 15 FBI agents to Talladega to investigate the whole situation. And their conclusion was that it was a garage pool and not what he was thinking it was. But anyway, he went and doubled down, still calling it a noose, talking about, I don't care what they found, you know, whatever. They want to pull up old videos or knots. What I saw was a straight up noose.
I've been racing all my life. We've raced out of hundreds of garages that never had garage pools like that. So people that want to call it a garage pool and put out old videos and photos of knots being in their as their evidence, go ahead. But from the evidence that we have, and that I have, it's a straight up noose.
Don't tell me that he's not responsible. Yes, he is responsible, because if it was me, if the NASCAR president comes to me, he's crying all this, that, and the third, talking about, oh, we found a noose in your garage, I was like, all right, let's take a look at what this is. Where did it come from? Who put it there? There's cameras everywhere. I'm certain there's cameras everywhere, okay? You know, not only the cameras that are like the security cameras, but also you got TV cameras filming everything. All right, this is a racist on TV now. The garages are right there on the track. So you should be able to identify a person that came in there and placed a noose on the ground. If they cut it from the garage pool or whatever the case may be and put it on my car, you should be able to see that. I want to know exactly what's going on and what happened before we go and tell the whole world. All right, I'm not going to be participating in this thing if I don't really know what's going on. But I think that both sides, NASCAR and Juicy Smouye, I keep calling him that, Bubba Wallace, wanted to capitalize on this. NASCAR, they want to have this PR campaign to be seen as not racist, all right? Because Bubba Wallace is really trying to attack them as being racist in kind of a not so covert way. Oh, the Confederate flags, they have no place here. And what I hear when I hear that is NASCAR allows the Confederate flags to be there, and they shouldn't do it because they're racist. They have a racist culture that we got to change, okay? Bubba Wallace himself went on TV and said, people are afraid of change. What are you talking about? What change needs to happen in NASCAR? Are you calling them racist? Are you trying to make them less racist? So they didn't want to wear that jacket on their back. So they're trying to get away from that NASCAR, that is. All right. Then they want to embrace Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, I can't breathe. They want to embrace that to not be canceled, to not lose sponsors, to not be vilified as racist in the media by one of their drivers, who is not necessarily a star driver, averaging 20th place, but different story, I digress. They don't want to be seen as racist, so they put on this whole big song and dance, pushing them to the front, bringing out Richard Petty, playing the slow music, and then Bubba Wallace is benefiting because it furthers this whole narrative. Okay, I'm a victim, I'm black, and everything's against me. Hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter, stop killing us. I got the Black Lives Matter car, the Black Lives Matter shirt, and now I'm a victim of racial violence, of a racial attack. You know, somebody put a nuisance in my garage. And even though 15 FBI agents said that it was not a hate crime against me, it was not targeted against me, that the so-called noose had been there for at least a year prior to that, long before they would know that he would be right there in that stall. Even though that's the case, I'm still going to call it a noose. I don't care. Okay. So they're both benefiting from it. Now, the media will still call it the news, and they'll still talk about the Confederate flags. They'll talk about, oh, well, you know, these racist people still bringing their Confederate flags outside. They want to intimidate them, all this, that, and the third. Ain't nobody really worried about that, man. You know, NASCAR fans, they're just trying to enjoy their race and do what they want to do. They got their culture. They want to fly the Confederate flag. So what? Who cares? Since when did the Confederate flag come to life and kill somebody black? You tell me that. That's what I want to know, okay? I want to know if Confederate flags, if they could come to life and kill somebody, strangle them or whatever, then all right, you got an issue there. Put them down because they're murderous. But I've never seen the Confederate flag kill somebody or do anything to someone, okay? That's a whole different story, so I digress. My whole point is that there's no need to change the culture of NASCAR. If anything, you need to change NASCAR itself from becoming a declining business. People in the comments that I've been reading on a lot of these pages have said that NASCAR died when Dale Sr. died. Okay, so maybe that's the bigger issue rather than race relations. Nobody asked for NASCAR to revamp their racial image. Nobody asked for that. Nobody needs that. I think Juicy Smouye, aka Bubba Wallace, aka Bubba Smouye, aka whatever you want to call him, is just trying to get attention, trying to capitalize and become something greater than what he is. I had no clue who this guy was before today. I'm not a NASCAR fan, honestly, but I still know some names, okay? And his is not one of them. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Did you think that this was fake from the very beginning, as I suspected? And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. Or are you surprised right now? Are you floored? Are you just flabbergasted that this whole case was fake? If that's how you feel, let me know why. Why are you so surprised at this? Okay. How many cases have we seen over the past 2, 3, 4 years where something like this that happened that turned out to be fake? Okay, all these nooses and, hate crimes, always fake. It's crazy that we live in such a racist, quote unquote, racist society, but we have to keep creating cases of racism, manufacturing fake cases of racism to prove the point that we live in a racist society. We do not live in a racist society, okay? You may have the occasional racist thing that happens, but we don't live in a racist society. And if you really want to talk about it, there's things that go on that are racist, but it's not from white to black. It's the other way around, but different story, different video, so I digress. My whole point is that this whole thing about the Confederate flag and the Black Lives Matter is all bogus. And we know that it's bogus because cases that are brought up to prove that these things are legitimate, 9 times out of 10 or 99.9 times out of 100 are false. They're fake, they're phony, they're fiction, as is the case in Juicy Smouye, aka Bubba Wallace. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.